Stage hand. Nah, we good. All right, bro. He texting and stuff.
Oh, my fault.
It's rude, right?
Right.
You invite them to your house for your podcast, and they just come here and they just texting and stuff. Nah, let me stop.
Boom. So
Boom,
I
boom.
am Daniel Joy, Mr. No Steps Back. We're gonna talk about taking some steps
Hold up,
forward
bro.
this holiday.
We got to take a look at why we oppositely matching at the moment.
Oh wow. You can't beat that too. We didn't even have that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, my name, I'm Van. No, I
You
got to
stu-
do it.
You stu-
Yeah, I'm Vance.
Here we go. All right.
I'm
Okay.
shaking my dreads.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
You know, I like to lift weights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
For a couple weeks.
dreams to reality.
There you
Because
go.
you got to do it. Like,
There
if
you
you ain't
go.
got no mindset, then like,
Then you
kill
got
yourself.
nothing.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's how it is.
That's all.
But anyway, hope y'all seen this. Y'all probably seen this on or a little bit after Thanksgiving. Maybe we wanted to come talk to y'all
Right.
again.
Sharing. It's
Oh,
caring.
it's Thanksgiving. Look, y'all.
It's not Thanksgiving. It's Thursday.
It's my birthday. Though.
It's a Thursday. Happy
Happy
birthday, bro.
birthday.
Fact. Right.
All right, but
Happy birthday, homie. It's like, nah.
But yeah, so we wanted to give y'all some more tips. Like we said tips last time, but we ain't even end up giving out no tips. How that work?
We gonna give them.
We got tips today.
Right, double.
All right. So Thanksgiving. First off, let's talk about the culture and how just because your grandma cook it and her grandma cook it, don't mean we gotta continue eating crazy bad. Like, I'm sorry, y'all, chitlins, they might be good to some people. They're not good to me.
Nah, I've never
They
had.
might be good to some people, but I got to remember we started eating chitlins because that's what was left. You know what I'm saying? So now you know better.
You do better.
So this Thanksgiving, man, you're gonna go to your grandma's house. What you eating?
So I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I just want to say that I'm just here so I don't get fined.
That look
Sorry.
plant based. Don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Right? Yeah. Nah, I don't celebrate. Christopher Columbus and the Takers. I don't.
Okay, I get that.
That's what somebody. You know what I'm saying? I get families giving and friends giving
Friendsgiving.
and all that, but we don't do the
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
You know, I ain't even think about it like that. I just be like, food.
I be like Trail of Tears. I be like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just mad reasons why I don't.
Man.
So boom, that's the number one reason to just kind of treat this Thursday like you just get to spend family time, man. Because if you can kind of detach from the emotion of the day and the expectation that you're supposed to eat crazy,
let's stop there for a second.
that's it.
Why is there an expectation that you got to eat crazy on Thanksgiving? Like, what, as far as eating, like, why we got this culture of like overeating? We got this trauma culture. We got a culture of overeating. We got a culture of unhealthiness.
We need to have a culture of introspection. We need to have a culture of awareness. We need to have a culture of people really looking into why they do what they do, because nutritional psychology, specifically in, you know what I'm saying, obviously our communities, but definitely overall, like the way we view food and eating and holidays in total, like it's based off of overconsumption of everything.
Yeah.
Not only food, but alcohol, gifts,
Right.
toys, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's all branded for us to overconsume, and we treat our bodies the worst during this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm gonna start everything healthy, taking care of my body
On the first.
on the first.
Yeah, that's kind of always been one of my favorite things to think about, because people are like, I'm gonna start my fitness on the first of the year. We in what? We be in like November 1st, and I'm like, you gonna start you gonna miss 60 days for 2 days of eating, and it's like you're kind of preparing yourself this whole season. Like, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna overeat, and it's like, why?
Right.
Because if you really think about it, you're gonna be in that food coma. You're gonna feel a little sluggish for a couple days. You're gonna gain weight because you're gonna eat a lot of sweets and sugary stuff. I mean, why? What's the point? But here's a few things you can go take into when you're going to those meals. All right. So first and foremost, if you're somebody who enjoys meat, when you go to these family gatherings, let's focus on those areas. Focus on your meats. Focus on your clean carbohydrates. So, your turkey, chicken, pretty much any meat at a family gathering of Thanksgiving is going to be your best bet, because you can't do but so much to it. You can't add but so much sugar, add so much fat and salt to meat. I mean, you can go crazy with it, but not the way you can with like macaroni and cheese.
Right.
I mean, macaroni and cheese, you got
The side
pasta,
fixes.
you got cheese, then you got heavy cream.
Right.
It's just like
right.
it's just like a
9
pot
different
of fat
cheeses.
and sugar. And
Right.
the thing is, I love macaroni and cheese, and I'll probably be at somebody's house eating macaroni and cheese. But at the same time, I know I'm cognizant of like how that's gonna affect my body.
I
And
always tell people, like, especially when they get talking about carbs and like, you know, the sides and different stuff like that. You just kind of want to look at the complex carbs. You want to try to stick close to the sweet potatoes and different stuff like that.
Right.
You want to avoid those simple ones that are going to break down into a sugar in your stomach, right?
Exactly.
Because what happens is once it breaks down, it's going to signal your brain like I'm still hungry, right?
Right.
And you're going to eat again, or you going to keep drinking, and like those are the things. Like, so
Oh.
to your point, or I guess number 2
Yeah.
would be everything in
Moderation.
moderation. Like, you just learn how to taste the thing, learn how to not fill up the plate super duper. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
Right.
if you could avoid going crazy, and really exercise your discipline on Friday,
Yeah.
you in the game.
And I put something about this on our Insta. Oh, we forgot last time. I'll put the link or something
Something.
in the video, but he has a clothing brand.
I got a clothing brand.
Yeah.
Just both, because right now, Fabletics men
Oh yeah.
got me right with the takeover shorts, easily tops, everything. Fabletics men, you need that. That link is in my bio for sure.
For sure.
Boom. And then my own personal brand, man, we do a lot of
Dreams to reality.
Dreams to reality. Like,
All that
like
good
we
stuff.
kill that though.
But
And it's just that part, man, has been so dope.
yeah. The whole
For
clothing
sure.
brand thing. And same thing here. You see, I got the mindset shirt on every day to remind me. It's all about the mindset.
Yes, sir.
But I got the brand too. But if y'all here,
And he do
you know.
everything in house.
yeah.
So-
it was by mistake. It's
Can't
just
beat
cheaper
that.
that way.
You
It's
can't
just
beat
cheaper
that.
that way. But on to another point, and I'm not even gonna number them because it's so many different ones we can go through. We're not gonna go crazy today. But the next thing is
Tangible.
uh
Make it tangible.
what tangible?
Make it real. The next step that they can actually do.
Yeah. Don't take home leftovers. That's setting yourself up
Leave
for failure.
that where it's
That's
at.
it. Like, especially if your goal is to be fit and be in a healthy fitness routine, just eat what you can eat there, because like if you can't eat it all there, why take it home and try to shove it in your mouth?
Because you are.
Just because, or for most people, it's just an excuse to not be on your diet. And if you're someone who always exploits excuses every time there's an opportunity, you'll never get anywhere. Because there's always going to be an excuse of
Always.
why you eating bad today? Well, it's Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Family reunion.
Family
Christmas.
reunion. It's the
Birthday.
weekend. It's Friday. It's after 5 p.m.
I had a tough week.
Right. Like,
I ain't
that's
the only one.
yeah, you know, everybody has I think my son, DJ, did you have a tough week? See, look, he don't even know.
right.
He
right.
don't even know.
But he ready
But-
for that turkey though.
Yeah.
Said that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could see his face right now. He is excited about it.
Right.
With
Right.
no teeth. That's how
Right.
serious it is.
Right.
His teeth is missing. But Thanksgiving, you're gonna be with your family, you're gonna be doing a lot of drinking now. You know what? I shouldn't even say that. Because that's just kind of the culture.
So I got a funny thing. I don't even remember where I heard it at specifically, but when people be like, if you say you don't drink, that's the only thing where people be like, what's wrong with you? Right? Like, what you going
Oh,
through?
yeah.
Like, you trying to quit? Right?
You
Like,
good?
you be like, nah. I don't-
What happened?
Yo, like,
What-
I be
what
like,
happened?
yo, nothing happened. I matured. I know,
Right.
you know, I have a healthy relationship with alcohol, like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, and you're going through something that you're ignoring. That's why you getting blind,
Right.
drunk every time, right? So, like, maybe you should use this holiday season to see if it's seasonal depression, see if you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
what
mean,
do
we
you
have
not-
we have a very escapism culture. So it's like
Yeah.
most people are trying to so hard to get out their bodies every chance they get.
Mhm.
So if you're somebody who uses every holiday as an excuse to like really, really go crazy with that,
quote unquote, get lit.
get
That's
lit.
the one.
Cause I mean, shoot, y'all know me. But at the same time, at a point, you got to be like, all right, well, like,
You can tell when it's from happiness, though. That's what I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
try to tell people, right? Because
yeah,
after a while, like you have to get to enjoying the event and the moment. You can't just
Right.
be, you know what I'm saying, sitting at a table like, oh, let's take another shot.
Yeah, because there was a time like where as you would, it does help with loosening up and if you're going into a situation like that. But eventually you have to figure out why is it that you need to get loose? Like what are you trying to
loose
do?
to
Exactly.
Is that loose? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it goes from enjoyment to where you flip the switch and you gonna say something disrespectful or
Right.
embarrassing to, you know what I'm saying, your mother-in-law or whatever the case
Something
is. Like
crazy,
there's
for no reason.
but it's all because you're
Right.
inebriated. You're trying to escape this, and now you creating this for yourself.
Exactly. And I mean, anybody who drank alcohol for any period of time has had certain situations like that, and it's kind of like those situations should be teaching moments. And at the same time, like he said, it should come from happiness because it's a different feeling when you see someone and they're having champagne or they're drinking or at a family event, and you can tell they're genuinely happy.
Right.
Versus the person you can kind of look and be like, oh, they're going through something.
Right.
And
they holding that bottle real tight.
Yeah, and the worst thing you could do, especially at these family gatherings, because they're very emotionally charged situations because maybe you're seeing family members that you're not necessarily cool with, or maybe, personally for a long time, even when I wasn't doing the things I needed to do in life, I felt kind of almost embarrassed going to family events because it's like they're gonna ask you what
are you doing?
What are you doing?
You comparing yourself to your cousins in your head.
You're looking at that,
blah,
and you like at first off comparison. That's a thief of joy
Killer.
anyway. But just being that person, I'm sure it's a lot of people out there, especially young black men, that are going to these events and maybe be feeling the way kind of like, dang, so and so's gonna ask me this.
Am I doing it?
And that be the situation where I'm at the event, you know what I'm saying? I might as well do this over here. Now you acting crazy. So that part right there. But also even getting back to what was you about to say?
I was just about to say, so for my last kind of like tangible thing, I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and I was trying to explain to him. No, I was talking to my fiance, and I was explaining that the people who we emulate and like to like follow, and the people who are successful are people who have a lot of, sorry DJ, fuck it and fuck them inside of themselves.
Exactly.
Because they're quick to say like, this issue, it's just an issue. Fuck it. I'm moving on to the resolution.
You know what? I like that you touched on that because yesterday I was watching Kevin Hart on The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And one thing that comes with growth and maturity is really learning to live in your own lane. And in Instagram, in this 30-second culture, we have so many sayings, you should do this, but really when you sit down and embody the whole, when you say, because when people are like, fuck everybody or whatever, they're coming from a negative place from that. But what you really got to do is reset that in your mind. It's not
balance.
Fuck everybody.
There's a balance.
What it is I understand you have an opinion about something that I'm doing.
Right.
You have your opinion. I have my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We can still be friends.
It's really fuck your perception of me. Right. Like I refuse. I won't try to fit in this box for you. Right. That's really what it is. So yeah, it is fuck everyone. Like even my kids. Right. Like who you think I am as your dad. I'm not going to try to pretend to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because you see me as your superhero. I'm going to give you dad. Right. And then you do with that what you will. Right. And so, and my job is to make sure that you learn and you have less to heal from.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to do everything perfect, and I'm not going to try to pretend that I'm going to be perfect around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No.
Oh, and then the other part was fuck them. Right? Yeah. Fuck it and fuck them. No issue is bigger than me. Right? Because I have to, you know what I'm saying? So if something crack and hit my windshield, I'm not snapping out. I'm not spazzing out. I'm not doing that, right? You got to remember catching the attitude and all that other stuff is from childhood because you couldn't communicate. Exactly. Now you grown. All I can do is call my insurance company, get them to fix that out, right? And then fuck them. Your perception of me ain't my job. I'm going to do me. And then, you know, it's going to attract those people who like the way I do me.
And I'm all for creative criticism because, I mean, the thing is, if you know yourself and you have a healthy relationship with yourself, somebody tells you something, you know where your issues lie. So if people are reflecting back to you things that make you feel away, then you got to sit down and think for a second, like, why do I associate myself with whatever they said?
Your triggers are your responsibility.
Exactly. Period. So that's on you. So with all that being said, it's kind of like when we go to these family reunion things or these type of situations,
This Thursday.
This Thursday, don't get pressured into doing anything. You know, if your people
or reacting.
You know what I'm saying? If your family likes to do certain things and you're not really cool with it, don't take this day as an excuse to do things that you wouldn't usually do.
Which also means that you don't get to act out or ruin anybody else's day either. That's what it means. And that's what a lot of people don't like, right? Like, your mental health, if you don't take it as a priority, that's not my fault. Like, don't come here acting out because you feel like you ain't doing enough at your job and now you 300 miles away visiting me and you want to do the most. Like, no, you gotta you need to keep your stuff in check too, because you are going to get there and there's going to be some aunties that's going to ask some crazy questions. Some cousins that's going to have some crazy things to say. So, you know what I'm saying? And you got to really know yourself to make sure that you get to enjoy your holiday too.
And, you know, I guess the final thing, not necessarily in the podcast, but on the Thanksgiving, well, I'm not even going to say final because something else will come up.
Yeah.
But we have to, I think as a culture, start
killing off Thanksgiving. Ain't no Thanksgiving.
Not even that. Every event doesn't have to be surrounded by food and partying. We got to get into the habit of like retreats, like going places and having active events together. Because for the most part, hiking is a great one. It's something that pretty much anybody can. If you can walk, for the most part, you can hike.
Right.
You know, so you know, from grandma to grandpa to the little kids, let's start having events based around being active.
Because you can call up somebody and go out and they're gonna hit the bar with you every weekend.
Hey, let's go get this workout in.
Ask them to come to Circuit Saturday Iron Man, Iron Woman camp at my gym.
You know
right?
what? Funny thing, I'm gonna talk.
No,
you got to plug that in a second. But funny thing about that is our white counterparts, they will go.
No offense to anybody. I don't have white counterparts. No offense to because I don't compare. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, I'm not using this as so much as a comparison of like, it's because it is a comparison. But I'm saying it to say, people our same age, our same education, they'll go, you know, in other races, especially like white people, because for whatever reason, black people have this victim mentality, and they like to look at our our other people in other races and say, oh, well, because they're this, that's why they got there. But like most of my white friends work really, really hard, like crazy.
The ones that I know were actually put in effort.
They put in a lot of work.
And I don't care what leg up you have, you still have to do the work.
Everybody is going to have barriers, but to the point I was just making, they will get up and go drink all night Friday. And then if they have to wake up and do a workout or do a paper or whatever, in a lot of cases, they will get up and knock that thing out.
Do it. Ain't no trade-off. If you're going to do this, you're going to do that.
You know, and granted, guys, I'm saying this, there are these people in all races that'll just go hard like that. But I mean, in general, black people complain a lot about anything, especially when it comes to going to work out or do something active. Like, do something active that doesn't involve food or alcohol.
I think human nature brings about complaints. And I try to tell people this all the time. Like, I will say I'm tired and I'm ready to go right then. In that very moment. I'll be like, I'm tired, right? And I'm going to do a full hour and a half workout. Right. That's just how I'm built. And it comes from conditioning yourself and realizing that you conditioned yourself to drink a whole bunch and then sleep a whole day.
Right.
You got to change that inside of yourself, which means that you got to, if you're going to drink a whole bunch, you need to get out and work out a whole bunch, right? Yeah. And then after a while, you'll see naturally that your body will start to shift to, I don't really want to drink that much.
Yeah, because I got this workout that I got to hit tomorrow.
And it takes care of itself.
And so that brings me to, you know, a very good point is many people, many sayings that you see out here on social media will tell you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, right? The thing is, and the neuroscience of it is your mind doesn't understand don't. Mm-hmm. So when you're telling yourself, don't do this, don't do that, all you're doing is telling your brain to focus on whatever it is that you're telling yourself not to do. So with that being said, if you're somebody who's trying to stop something or start a new habit or start healthy ones, don't focus on what you don't need to do. Focus on what needs to be done.
Replace, don't remove.
What will happen is you'll notice, okay, if I want to get this body, right, what needs to be done? It's Thanksgiving. What needs to be done is I don't need to overeat.
That's true.
What needs to be done is I don't need to go crazy with the family with drinking and wilding out because I want to stay on my workouts. Mm-hmm. What needs it's not don't do this, is in order for me to be
Right.
successful in this area, this is what I have to do. And some of those things require that you don't do other things.
That's a fact. And to bring your what you're saying full circle, it's you have to tell yourself, not I'm not getting drunk. You have to say, boom, so I'm gonna have two shots. I'm gonna have, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna make a responsible plate, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna overeat, and I'm not, because you don't have any parameters. You don't have any,
and that comes with self-discipline and self-awareness, because you got to know yourself. Because for myself, I know that if I go to a family gathering, if I stay past a certain time, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if I go, it's like, I need to get out of here about 7 or 8. Because if I stay past a certain time, I'm with the family, everybody's cool, the energy's different. So it's like, well, I'm already here. Right. Let's enjoy myself. Right. And in those cases, I do.
You just got to say you can't. You got to understand that you can enjoy yourself without being inebriated. And then that second part is, you got to understand that what happens that day stays in that day. Because I like Macallan 12, and I always put myself on a 3-shot maximum, right? Because
you be counting the time. Like,
you see me before, right? I don't play. I set real parameters around my stuff because I work off a protocol, and if I know, even if I'm like, man, I'm gonna stay an extra 30 minutes, right? An extra 30 minutes. I may have an extra shot, and then I'm out. I still didn't do the 8-shot boy like my man over here who calling the Uber. You know what I'm saying? And so those different things, you know, kind of having a way, you know what I'm saying, having a plan helps you win.
Helps you do that. And I mean, that's the biggest thing in it is, even if you don't necessarily follow your protocols to the T. At least you have protocols.
You know where you at.
So even if you do step off that the next day, you can also look back and say, okay, this is what I said I was gonna do. Mm-hmm. This is what I did. Mm-hmm. So in the next event or the next celebration, you can say, okay, this is what I said I was gonna do. This is what I did. This next event, I need to do better than that.
Yeah.
Versus just going to it and saying something general like, I'm not gonna do too much of this. What does that mean? Yeah. What is too much?
It's true. It's true.
Too much.
That's like when people say try and different stuff like that. You leave it open-ended subconsciously to make sure that you have room to do what you.
Because we got big on that whole I'm gonna try, and then we start correcting
you
ourselves.
You do it on purpose.
Because when you tell yourself you try, even just sit back. Even now in this video, tell yourself you're gonna try to do something. You can feel
best effort
that way out. When you say I'm gonna try, it's like I said I'm gonna try. So if I don't do it, it's
you
okay.
Stuff it right in your pocket, like,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna try. Are you though?
Glad I got that in me.
Are you gonna try?
That's true, bro.
You know, versus saying like, okay, this is what I like. This podcast, for example, we gonna probably talk about this all the time because whatever, but we got to get done. You know, I just got back, from a trip. The day I got back, I'm like, hey, what you doing tomorrow? We gotta get this done.
And I won't even go into my day and what it took to get this.
It's my birthday,
accomplished.
Y'all.
Right.
It's my birthday. I'm out here doing a podcast. And this is work, but it's also fun. I get to hang out with my guy uninterrupted for an hour. So, or I said an hour.
It's about an hour.
We've been together about an hour. Cool. Yeah, but So to run through what we went over today. And these are going to get a little less scripted as we move forward, see what y'all like talking to us about. And they're not scripted at all. We just come in and I'll be like, bro, we're going to talk about this today.
Right, which makes it easier that if there are questions or anything that you want to hear us discuss, it's kind of easy.
So let's think of, let's think of like 3 frequently asked questions that people ask around Thanksgiving as it pertains to fitness.
But to recap, the 3 things, my number 1 is be yourself. I mean that in every area. Just because somebody else filling up a plate, you don't got to fill up a plate. Because somebody else taking a plate home, you don't have to take a plate home. Because somebody want to see the bottom of the bottle, you don't have to follow them there. Really set your parameters and then, jump back on track tomorrow.
Exactly. So I'm gonna piggyback on the jump back on track thing, guys. Remember, this is just one day of eating.
It's one day.
It's one day. I mean, you can only eat so many calories in one day. So it's like one day is not going to throw you off. But the biggest thing is mentally. Because like people don't understand how your mental state affects how food is processed in the body. And I know that sounds woo-woo, but it's very true.
It's deep.
So with that being said, don't consume a lot. The worst thing you do is consume a lot of food while you're stressed out. And the problem is during Thanksgiving, people usually overeat and people are also watching their weight. So you overeat So you self-sabotage. You set yourself up for failure. You know you're going to gain weight. Then you go eat crazy. Then you hop on the scale. Then you get mad because it's 5 pounds heavier.
But you hop on the scale the next day.
Don't do
should
that.
Be like, I'm like.
So I don't hop on the scale the day after Thanksgiving.
To me, that's like drinking and then going to get a breathalyzer. Like, you need to wait a while. Like,
Yeah,
you done some stuff. You should probably wait a while.
Chill out. So don't hop on the scale the next day. And remember, guys, mentally, and that's why I said the mental. It's one day, guys. It's really not going to
stay locked in and clocked in. That's all.
So, you said first thing, be yourself. Second thing, it's just one day. And the biggest thing I think we were saying here is like, don't get peer pressured into eating more than you want, or drinking more than you want, or
not
really,
just from your family, but
anything
from the holiday pressures. Like, overconsumption is that in itself is a drug. Consumerism is a drug.
Right?
Like, really watch yourself, because that's where you get sucked in the worst. But if you go in with a plan, like, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what you know what I'm saying. Just even soft parameters helps you be like, all right, so boom, I'm on the other side of what I know will aligns with my goals.
And guys, here we're also saying we're talking about balance here, guys.
Balance.
But there are some people that this is the only time of the year they're with their family and they're seeing people for a long time. So if you're that person and this is literally what you do one time a year, this conversation is probably not even for you, because you have the discipline and you have the self-awareness the rest of the year if these 2 days are the only days you're going crazy.
Because I'm gonna drink my Macallan. I'm gonna have my 3 shots.
Some 1942.
You know what I mean? See, you know what I'm saying?
And a nice cigar. But
see, I don't smoke, but I get that.
You need to get on cigars, man.
I can't do that.
I promise you can find one you like.
No. I had my time.
You had it. Okay, yeah. He not as old as I am. Yeah. Right. He gonna one day. One day he gonna be like, you know what? Let me see what that's like. Because I started playing golf recently, bro.
Really?
You need.
Oh
to
yeah,
get
that's
on
a
that.
form thing. That ain't nothing but
you got to get on that.
It's well, I took my kids and stuff. Me and Princess, and we went to play, and I wiped the
mini golf.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. What was it? Top Golf or Drive Shack? One of them.
Drive Shack. Yeah.
Drive Shack.
Oh yeah. That's where we be going every. I do it like a couple times a week during lunch.
You go. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, go practice my swing and stuff. It's horrible, but it's
practice. I'm actually okay. I'm getting pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Like something.
I need to take. We still got the main camera.
Okay.
I still got I think Troy. I'm gonna go out with Troy, but oh shit.
Let's wrap and recap.
Yeah, I guess we can wrap up, y'all.
Let's wrap and recap. My fault. We're gonna log off.
Yeah, we here talking and stuff. Like we have a regular conversation. But guys, man, thanks again if you came here. Remember,
you got this.
DTR,
Dreams to Reality.
Me,
I got Factory and Carry.
I got too many businesses to list out, but we just
No steps back.
No steps back.
Everything.
If you want to get the mindset tee, let me know, man. I'll get you one out. But thanks for watching. Peace.